Hello everyone, my name is Marcus and welcome to another poster tutorial. So today we're going to do this like a 3D typographic poster saying happy happy, and let's just go. So first thing, let's just start our new document. I'm going to use a 1700 by 2400 and just press create. And the first thing we're going to do is actually get some nice, let's write happy. And let's just get some nice fonts here to use for this. I'm just going to scale this using shift if it lets me. Okay. And I'm going to use a Pangram font. I believe this was the font I used. I'm going to make it like a gray, like this. I'm going to select the font again. And I go actually just make a copy here using Alt. Going to Effects, 3D Materials, 3D Classic, Extrude and Bevel. Perfect. Here I'm going to choose like a isometric perspective to start with. And then I'm going to just rotate this perspective a little bit to get something not so isometric. And perfect. I'm going to use this one. And then I'm going to actually choose to use the bevel as well on this one, like a classic bevel. And I'm going to increase the depth of my letters. Perfect. This is pretty much it. I can actually play a little bit with the depth of the bevels. We can actually select if you want the bevel to be outside or inside. Normally I like to keep it inside so it keeps the same shape of the font. And just press OK. We're happy with this. Again, I like to keep like backups of everything I design just in case I need to change something. So that's why I'm dragging this to the side. Now I'm going to just select it again. I'm going to go to Object and Expand Appearance. And let's just scale this a little bit so I can actually see a little bit better. And let's just, now just because we have some bevels here, actually the bevel tool actually created a few bevels on the side as well, behind here. And it doesn't look really nice on the design. So the first thing we need to do is just delete them. Just select with the direct selection tool here. So cool, let's just zoom out again, see the entire page. Next thing I want to do is actually just press D. So when we press D, it actually resets everything to black and white. So now we have like black strokes and white fill, which is really cool, because the next thing we need to do is actually collapse together these shapes here inside of the P letter. Because it's like a round vector, it actually creates these like steps here. And we don't want that. For that, let's just go to Window, Pathfinder, and just use our Pathfinder tool. And let's just select these ones here, like this, and just unite them. Do the same thing for these ones here, and unite them. Perfect, so our type is ready to have some color now. So let me just get my reference here. I'm gonna put my other screen so I can actually remember more or less what I've done there. So yeah, cool. So next we want to do is just go to Window, Swatches Libraries, and let's just go to Art History and just select Pop Art. Here I'm gonna just use some pop art colors here. You can actually click here and just drag them to your swatches here, which is really cool if that's easier for you. And I'm just going to ungroup this for now. And to try to keep the letters together so then it's easier to move them. And then I'm just going to double click here, and this will make it yellow. Sorry, click it, yellow, maybe this one. And just going to color all the letters using this pop art colors here. I'm going to speed up this process so you don't spend too much time looking at me putting some colors. Great, so I just finished putting some colors. Now what you're going to do is just add like a little bit of textures as well. So to add this pattern textures, we're actually going to just go to our library here. Or I can just go to Window and then Swatches and then find patterns here and then graphic dots. Perfect. We're going to use these graphic dots to create like this really nice texture. We're going to just select each face we want to apply it. That's selected and then paste in place. Pardon. And then just start adding like this really cool textures over. Like try to make like a different textures every face. Creates like a little bit of more dynamic visual, which is really cool. Let's just select this one here. I'm gonna use this. Don't forget to make your copies. And the same thing for here. Like this. Copy again. And just make it like, I'm trying to make it as close to the example I've showed as best I can. So bear with me. I'm just trying to do this as quick and as the same as the example. I don't want to be too different. So yeah, I think you got the idea, using the graphic dots and lines to make these textures. So I'm gonna just do this really quick, and then I'll be back to talk about composition. Cool, so now we finished to add a little bit of textures and patterns to these letters, which is really cool. The main idea here is to apply as many different textures as you can, so you create like this very dynamic visual. And now what we're gonna do is actually play a little bit with the composition of the letters. Let's just select letter A, and let's leave this one here as well. Let's just use this one like here together. So we create like this composition where, like, if you think about it, like the letters are like one is in front of the other, which is really cool, creating this like kind of dynamic but still readable composition. Like we're gonna use like this, put the A a little bit in the front and the P here. So the idea is you still understand what's written here. We don't want to lose the entire meaning of the design. We want to be interesting, and we want like people to look at it and think like, not have like free delivered like easily, but it needs to be like something that's interesting to look at, and it makes you like feel something when you actually read it, and then you get the message, which is like be happy, or something positive. Yeah, so we do this composition like this, and we just apply a little bit. I want to keep like the shape of the P a little bit visible, a little bit more, which is cool. I think it works right now because you still have that like piece there. You can understand there is like a repetition here happening, as these both share the same shape. And the letter Y, maybe I will just connect it a little bit further. Let's just group this letter. And so we can actually see a little bit of more of the letter Y. Great. So this is pretty much it in the design of the type. Now the next thing we want to do is just group these together. Let's just select them, go to Object and group them. And let's just make a copy, edit, copy, edit, paste in place. Again, I think I just made a cut there, edit, paste in place. And I'm going to duplicate this, creating like another repetition on a visual here. And great, let's just maybe scale this a little bit more. Something more like this. And let's just go to our layers here. Let's create a new layer for the background. Let's just use a rectangle tool here to create a really nice background. Actually use like a darker background. I really like, makes the colors pop a little bit more. And will be our background here. Let's just see. Actually really like it this way as well, even like without anything else. But to add like a little bit more story on the visual, I actually added a few details here, like a few spheres using the ellipse tool here. I just added like a few of them, just use the same colors of the letters like this, and let's just add them to add a little bit more detail into the visual, and maybe some like a little bit of storytelling. Maybe these little spheres have like a consequential meaning. It's like they are here for a reason. We need to give like something to the imagination as well of our viewer. And I just add like nice color on this one as well. And yeah, I think I will leave it like not too many, so they're not very distractive. But yeah, you get the idea. Just adding a few more elements to make it this a little bit more detailed. And also I would love to add this kind of shiny bits on the letters as well. I'm gonna make it white, and then I'm going to Effects, Distort and Transform. I'm going to Pucker and Bloat. I'm just going to make this little shiny visual here. Just gonna remove the stroke. You don't need the stroke there. And then I'm gonna just paste this somewhere in the letters, just to make like this even a little bit more layer of detail. Something more like this, like shiny, and just make it a little bit smaller maybe. and just add a few in our visual where we think it needs a little bit more attention, maybe like to grab some attention to details here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then I like to sign my posters, as everyone should do, just for reference mostly. I'm gonna put my signature here. Let me just get it from the other page. Just going to leave it like this here. And I'm gonna make another layer actually to add some noise. Let's just go a rectangle tool here again. Make it a black as well, like a very dark gray. Let's go to effects and texture, grain. And let's use the stippled grain. Yeah, it's already there. Let's just maybe reduce a little bit, maybe 25. With our grain select, let's go to opacity and let's go to screen. And here let's just maybe reduce the opacity to 5%. Okay, 5%. Yeah. So it actually just adds a little bit of grain. It doesn't overtakes the image too much. Maybe let's just increase to 12. Like it works really well in the darker places, but not much when there is color. And yeah, this is pretty much it. I think it's like a very cool technique. We're using like preset perspective, like the isometric, and then just change it a little bit to create a not so dramatic perspective, and then actually just applying like a bevel and using like really nice colors to create this like composition that is very beautiful visually. I like when I design this, I use a reference and I'm like, well, actually really like it, and that's why I decided to make a tutorial. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please let me know in the comments what you like, if you like this poster, and if you want to see like more typography based poster tutorials and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and do the tutorial. And if you do the tutorial, please be sure to tag me and share it on Instagram. I love to see what you guys do. So yeah, have a nice day. Bye bye.